Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Nur Iman bin Mat Besar Cruz. Today, I will be reviewing one of the movie that I recently watched in the view of intercultural communication. The movie that I recently watched is Green Book on Netflix. This movie follows the journey of an Italian-American bouncer who becomes a driver for an African-American pianist during a tour in the southern part of America in the 1960s. These two confront racial prejudices and forge an unlikely friendship along the way. This movie centered around Tony Valilonia and Dr. Don Shirley. From these two characters, we can see a very different polar of characters in many aspects, especially in intercultural communication aspect.
The film highlights the deeply ingrained racial prejudices and stereotypes during the era. Tony initially harbors racist attitudes and biased view on African Americans, while Dr. Shirley faced systemic racism and hostility. The title Green Book itself is actually a guidebook for African American travelers to find safe places, symbolize the pervasive racial prejudices at the time. Throughout the movie, these are the scenes that stand out for me. In the earlier part of the movie, we can see that after Tony had done with his bouncer job, he had spent time with his family watching a game of baseball. From this particular scene, we can see that Tony is living in an extended family, consists with his father and his siblings who has their own family, while Tony himself also having a small family consists of his wife and his two sons. As he is from a small wage family, the collection of relatives that we can see here is probably needed for economic reasons. Next scene that stands out for me is when Tony and Dr. Shirley are on the road to Kentucky. We can see that Tony offered Dr. Shirley a fried chicken. This scene humorously addresses cultural stereotypes. Tony assumes that all African American love fried chicken, while Dr. Shirley, who actually has never eaten it, challenges the stereotype. This moment in particular reveals that Tony ignorance and Shirley detachment from a certain cultural expectation, leading to bonding experience that break down some of Tony's prejudices. After arriving in Kentucky, Dr. Shirley arrived to a motel. Just like in the guidebook that was given to Tony, the motel only vacant for African American community only. After adapted to the situation in the motel, Dr. Shirley went to a bar for having a quiet time. But rather than having a quiet time by himself, the situation turned sour. From this particular scene, it highlights the challenges of culture adjustment and the importance of community solidarity. Through respectful interaction and the development of empathy, both Dr. Shirley and Tony navigate their cultural differences. From this particular scene also, Tony's experience is an eye-opener for him, because the realization is a pivotal moment in his intercultural journey, leading to a deeper appreciation of the struggle faced by African community. Let's talk about this scene also. These scenes where the car breaks down in front of a field full of African American community working provides a vivid portrayal of intercultural communication and the dynamics of the race relations during the 1960s. The scene reflects historical context of racial segregation and economic exploitation. The scene juxtaposes the identities of Dr. Shirley and the laborer. Despite sharing the same racial background, their vastly different social identities underscore the complexity of race relation and the impacts of socio-economics status on personal identity. The car breakdown scene in front of a field with laborers is a significant moment for understanding called intercultural communication. It highlights the disparities and complexities within the African American community, the visual and the non-verbal cues that conveys deep social and historical context, and the evolving empathy and solidarity between Tony and Dr. Shirley. At the last part of the movie, Dr. Shirley was scheduled to perform in a fancy restaurant. As he was getting ready and wanted to grab a bite, he was denied entry into the restaurant. The restaurant staff's refusal to seat of Dr. Shirley is a clear display of the institutional racial prevalent during that time. This explicit act of discrimination is an example of how deeply entrenched racist attitudes were in social practices and policies. Through this encounter, the film underscores the need for solidarity, understanding, and the courage to stand up against injustice. This moment is crucial in showcasing the personal and social impacts of discrimination and the transformation power of intercultural relationships. Overall, this movie, Green Book, provides a poignant reminder of the human capacity for change, understanding, and connection, urging viewers to look beyond surface differences and embrace the common humanity that unites us all. Thank you very much.